Northwest wild. Hunting, fishing is my kind of style. I float the Wainuchi when it gets hot. I'm proud I own the things that I've got. I'm digging them moss bags up in the sand, and after work a cold beer in my hand, picking wild berries off God's land, and drinking my buddy's homemade wine. Living Northwest wild. Hunting, fishing is my kind of style. I float the Wainuchi when it gets hot. I'm proud I own the things that I've got. I'm digging them moss bags up in the sand, and after work a cold beer in my hand, picking wild berries off God's land, and drinking my buddy's homemade wine. In the Northwest wild.
Hey, good evening and welcome FHN Northwest. Wayne England, Tommy Donlin back in studio 6 p.m. Thursday evening, so you know we're coming to you live from the FHN studio. Josh sitting back there in the corner. We got the beard here. The whole crew's here, Tommy.
Yeah, everybody's in town.
Oh, my gosh, look at that.
Oh, what do you got there?
Yeah, I forgot to light the fire.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
You know,
there we go.
That's the ambiance, my friend.
Much better.
Now we have the vibe going on. So, yeah, welcome to FHN Northwest. We have a lot of content to cover this evening, Tommy. Of course, as we do each and every week, we're going to get through a variety of things under things going on around the Pacific Northwest and beyond. Before we get there, hey, we're going to actually watch the turkey hunt unfold, as it were, right?
That should be a good one.
A couple weeks ago. So bringing that to you tonight, two-part installment on that, our successful turkey hunt with buddy Eric Braaten, who, by the way, will be giving the walleye seminar over here at the Eastside rendezvous coming up in June. We'll get to that in just a little bit. So, hey, folks signing on here. How's everybody doing? Ray, Richard, nice to see you guys jumping on here. Hey, grab our link here this evening. Push it on out there. Invite your friends. Come join the show. Once again, lots of good content to cover. Also, we're going to pick up with buddy Ron Garner, president of PSA. A follow-up as it was initially going into that two-part installment, thanks to you, in talking about the recovery of some of our bottom fishery opportunities. Last time Ron was with us a couple weeks ago, if you remember, Tommy, it was all about the ocean. Tonight we're going to focus more back on Puget Sound. Yeah. And some things going on there and the rebound of some of our bottom fish. And if things keep swinging in the right direction, we could look at potential, getting back into some of these opportunities of various species of bottom fish or rockfish in the future.
Yeah, and I think we're going to be able to keep rockfish in the future in Puget Sound. I really do, because I mean, you hear it from the guys that are lingcod fishing, right? Yeah. They're going out, they're going to places like Possession and some of the other lingcod spots, and they're sometimes struggling to get that live bait to the lingcod because the rockfish are taking it. So it's getting better.
And we get them when we're bottom dragging for salmon too. Right. We get a number of those yellowtail. We get a handful of various types of fish, but yeah, they're out there. And the masses of them, the biomass of them as it is growing. There's no doubt about it. So, but we'll talk with Ron later on, get a little update as to what's going on in that regard. Also going to check in with Karl Freudenstein, pole-to-pole fishing. Been out there at Westport doing quite well once we got through that weather window that shut down Westport, and very, very limited access out of Sekiu to Nia Bay and beyond out to the big water. Now that the weather's kind of settling down, though we were looking at weather once again.
Yeah, we're going to get some more of it this weekend.
Rolling into this next week. But we're going to talk with Karl in regards to how the Westport fishery is going. And today he had a banner day, sent us some updated pictures of a very successful day on the water. Tommy, we're going to spend a segment with you kind of recapping how the access via Sekiu out beyond Nia Bay and out to the big water has been performing, and kind of what folks can expect what's going on out there. So we'll get into all that. Again, lots to go over and lots to get to. Originally, we had scheduled Chef Jeff Maxfield in studio with us tonight, trying to get him in studio to officially, formally introduce him to everyone. And, you know, things come up. He is running a restaurant that takes precedence over everything else, and apologizes he could not be here this evening with all that's going on. But, you know, I don't know if you heard. At the federal level, they've said if you've been vaccinated, no mask, blah, blah, blah. We'll see what our state's going to do. Just last night in the news, they were talking, well, Pierce County, you're looking at rolling back to phase one. Well, hold on a second. Now at the Fed level, they're saying, oh, things are looking great. We're going to take it off for everybody. I guess we'll see where we land, and if things head in the right direction here in Washington State, restaurants and eateries and everything will be full on open, no mask required if you've been vaccinated. Check my ID. I don't know.
What are they going to do?
I don't know. I don't know. But what the heck?
Vaccination card?
Anyway,
Sounds like a HIPAA violation to me.
Maybe we got to get that tattoo on our forehead. Is that how this works? We now get that tattoo on the forehead?
I think it goes on your forearm.
Oh, maybe that's it. One of those. Anyhow. Okay, before we get moving along through the show here, a couple things to review. As most of you are well aware, and if you're not, you're going to get it now. First annual Summit Lake Kids Trout Derby, 14 and under. First annual Kids Trout Derby, hosted by Fish Hunt Northwest and our Summit Lake Community Center Association, which will be right down the street here. Starts at daylight. Must be at the community center before 11 a.m. For weigh-in. Tommy, categories are biggest trout, of course, and we award prizes in first, second, third category for each category. So biggest trout, biggest kokanee, biggest random fish. You can bring in a perch, catfish. A guy caught a 6 to 7 pound pike minnow out here last week. Really? Yeah, I've seen them swimming off our dock. They've come by before. First lap around, I thought, we got carp in this lake? It came back around, I'm like, oh, it's a pike minnow, and it's probably 5 pounds.
How did that get into the lake?
I don't know, but there's a number of them that are good size out here. Fry-eating mofos for sure, right? When they plant 250,000 fry kokanee, those along with the smallmouth are eating a lot of those. So anyway, biggest random fish, most weight of your 5 fish trout limit, and most weight team of 3, weigh in your largest trout, team of 3. And we're awarding first, second, and third prize. Now, go to our Facebook page. You're going to see a post up about the Derby and a couple shopping carts and a pickup bed truck full.
Oh, yeah. The prizes are unbelievable.
And you look at the room next to us here in the Bay Lab.
It's loaded.
We have tackle boxes. We have 17 to 20 fully rigged fishing rods in reel combos we're giving away. And these are a higher end trout rod too. I didn't get the crap. This is good stuff, right? Nice. Abu Garcia combination package coming at you, trout rod for kids. And tackle boxes stuffed full of gear. We'll have rod and reel combinations, tackle boxes, and with gear for first place. Pretty significant. Here you go. And we'll have second place full tackle box. Third place will be a grab bag of full tackle. I mean, tons of stuff, right? $1,500 worth of gear purchased thanks to the sponsors, whom I shall mention: Mike's Plum Street Automotive, Mike Olson Outdoors, Summit Lake residents here that have chipped in, Metal Supermarkets, of course, Sportco and Max Lure, to name a few. So we've had some definite assistance in this. May 22nd, Saturday, May 22nd. So a week from this Saturday, weather's supposed to be amazing. Weigh-in for the kids will be at the community center. Now, keep in mind, it's the first time we're attempting something like this for both the community and us here at Fish Hunt Northwest. We're hoping to pull it off without any major hiccups. We got overflow parking. We got plenty of room for everybody. We got a food permit, of all things, Tommy, landed from Thurston County. So we have volunteers with the Summit Lake Community Association that are going to be working towards providing food. I think we're talking hot dogs and drinks and things like that. But hey, we're getting past this COVID deal, so that should be exciting for a lot of folks to come on out and join us. Expect to see a lot of people there. Kids are going to be very pleased with what they're rewarded for their effort. And we have more than just the prizes for the placement, Tommy. We're also doing a free raffle. You're going to get a couple raffle tickets. We're going to spin the wheel. We're going to hand out additional gear and giveaways simply by being there, okay? Trying to put events out there for kids to attend. They've been kept out of schools. They've been kept out of sports. They've been kept out of stuff. Fishing and outdoors is taken off. And we want to make sure the kids are being involved in that.
Yeah.
So that's the genesis behind this. So we're hoping a lot of you guys will come out and join us. Really looking forward to seeing a lot of you out here. We're excited. This is going to be a good time. And appreciate everybody weighing in here. That's going to be a good time. And yes, we are. So look forward to seeing you all there. On top of that, a little something for the adults. Okay, shifting gears. Eastside, Fish Out Northwest, Eastside Rendezvous this year, June 11, 12, 13, over at Electric City. Stay at the Skydeck Motel. I talked to Nikki the other day. Rooms are filling up. We got folks signing up. We also have access to the campground. Talked to Hal the other day. Go ahead and call them up. Reserve your spot at the campground. It is also filling up June 11, 12, 13. It's right on the shores of Banks Lake. Beautiful place to stay. The Skydeck is also on the banks of Banks Lake, right out your back door. Literally, right out your bed.
You're on the river.
And literally, right? So you're right there on the water. We're going to learn to fish Roosevelt, Rufus, and Banks, walleye, kokanee, and triploids. We have folks giving seminars. Herzog is coming to join us.
Is he?
He's given the
he is.
He's given the triploid seminar.
After all that whining that he did about too many people being on Rufus, I was thinking, we're never going to hear about it. Hey man,
they're still catching big triploids there. The fishing's still going off. We got folks over there doing well and sharing the knowledge. Bill Herzog will be there at the event Saturday afternoon. Free seminar, learn how to fish for those Rufus Woods triploids.
I'm still trying to figure out why would you fish for a kokanee when there are 10 to 20 pound trout swimming around nearby, and knowing that they eat like a Columbia River springer.
Yeah.
So
well, it's it's a different fishery. So we're jigging for the triploids or using bait.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Your kokanee fishery is a troll fishery.
Yeah.
It's fickle. You got to figure it out. It can either frustrate you or give you great reward.
Yeah.
And if you get a 3 to 5 pounder, I'm telling you, one on the kokanee rod, it's a heck of a fight. And two, it's enjoyable, and they eat amazing.
Yeah.
And they do. They smoke up amazing.
Do you think they're better than a triploid, Rufus Woods triploid?
It's a toss-up, man.
Oh, really? They're that close? Okay.
They are.
Let's be honest. That triploid's better.
I'm going to be honest. That triploid
is.
I'm turning over a new leaf. The triploid is pretty darn amazing.
I am kind of bummed because I did want to go over there, and it's been so long since I've heard a walleye seminar.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to hear that.
And Eric's one of the best.
And fish walleye. It brings back a lot of good memories for me because when I was in Nebraska and South Dakota, I used to do a lot of walleye fishing. So
corn-fed Tommy fishing walleye.
But the ocean calls me, so
I know
that's where I will be.
I know. We'll check connectivity over there if we have the ability. For those that can't make it, can't attend, we may stream that live. We may stream that live. Then it's recorded. Last year we recorded it and then rebroadcast. Eric Braaten does an amazing job. He is not only dialed on turkeys, which is his passion, but the walleye come calling to his boat, no doubt about it.
Awesome.
Skydeck, 509-633-0290. Give Nikki or staff over there a call. Let them know you're coming over for the Fish Out Northwest Rendezvous, June 11, 12, 13. Book your room. Receive a pretty healthy percentage off. Almost up to 1/3 of your stay will be comped and reduced price. The information will be free. The seminars will be free. We are looking at hopefully getting some giveaways. I'm still working on that. One of the troubles with giveaways right now, I'm going to be honest, is companies are so strapped with just trying to provide enough gear and stuff for retail outlets and to catch up because they're so far behind in manufacturing. For us to get our sponsors to hand over the goods is like pulling teeth, man. It is really hard. So we will do our best to have stuff to give away. If we fall a little short on that, we apologize. That being said, it's going to be a really good time. The weather's going to be amazing. The information is going to be fantastic and free. And it's just a good event to come and join in on. Okay. Moving on, what else we got here? Sportco, hey, what is hot? Don't wait too long, Tommy, to get a hold of what is happening. Stuff is flying off the shelves down there at Sportco. Tony sent me a thing this last week. What do we know? What are folks buying right now? What are they getting ready for?
We got Ace High Flies and in the color Herring Aid.
Of course.
And of course, of course, we got spoons that are just flying off the shelf. And it's no surprise, right? We got our summer king season, coho season coming up. I mean, we're only a month and a week away from that.
Resident Coho opens June 16th, Area 10.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you wait until June 1st to start buying your herring age spoons,
you're not going to get the gear.
Your flashers.
Yeah.
If you want to roll bait and you're, looking more at your Chinook fishery, which will open up then in July, and you're going to get your 3 and 4 odd hooks for your bait rigs.
Well, and the thing that people need to remember too is that Sportco not only serves, the west side of Washington, but they're shipping orders all over the place.
Their online sales are ridiculous.
They've got a huge number of online sales that are coming from Alaska. And what I was really shocked of is the salmon fishery down in California. Has been going strong.
Crazy.
And so they've been sending a lot of gear down there.
Yep.
And so don't wait.
If you have your favorites, and a lot of it is within the realm of herring aid, whether it's the spoons, the new Ace High Fly herring aid, it
doesn't matter, anything
the flashers,
that's got herring aid on it,
you better get your hands on it.
It's going to be going out the door.
And do yourself a favor, get some of your Apotski gel, fire gel.
Yeah.
You're a believer.
I love how sticky that gel is.
Isn't that amazing? It sticks to everything you put it on.
It goes a long ways.
And it lasts.
It smells
amazing.
Like the real deal.
Hey, a couple more things before we get out of here for our first break. Down in Kalama, Dave Calhoun, buddy of ours here at Fish on Northwest and owner of Northwest Rods, is hosting another Kalama Sportsman show. These are mini shows with a handful of vendors on location. Address 5225 Meeker Drive, Kalama, Washington. This Saturday, I have to be at work, so we can't be there with the Fish on Northwest swag in the Jinglin Jigs. But next time, Dave's trying to do this each month through the summer, mid-month or so. This month, June, is going to be this coming Saturday, 9 to 5 a.m. His shop will be open. Lots of rods on sale. He's blown them out the door, and he's got all kinds of rods getting you ready for summer fisheries. There's going to be other vendors down there as well, setting up tables, selling their goods and wares in the parking lot at Dave's location, 5225 Meeker Drive, down in Kalama. Definitely something to attend. It's free. Park, walk around, buy stuff, get your fishing rods, get some gear. Trying to think if Justin Berg's going to be down there with the tackle box in the trailer. I can't remember if he is, but he might. Yeah. Anyway, he's got a number of folks signed on to do that. Again, we apologize, late notice, and we got other things going on. So, but we will be down there soon with a bunch of Fish on Northwest swag and a lot of the other things that Shing has in the store, and Jordan will be down there with his jigs. So looking forward to that. Make sure if you have time, you get down there because the deals are going to be fantastic. Also, our buddy Jeff Maxfield over at Finn's Bistro is hiring full-time and part-time chefs and, of course, dishwashers. Every good restaurant needs a good dishwasher, right?
Yes.
Great owners to work for, great individuals to work for, a fantastic company, and we're very pleased to have Jeff Maxfield and crew on board here, Fish on Northwest, as our lead chef and everything that he's going to bring to our show.
And Mike Ainsworth, I will make sure that the number of pink tackle boxes
pink tackle box,
decrease between now and the trout derby for the kids. Those are the kids.
Yeah, he keeps going after that pink tackle box. I already had the one engraved. That's First Light Guide Service. In the pink, First Light Guide Service. I told him he could have two of them, one for each side of his boat.
There you go.
For his gear, right? Nothing says First Light Guide Service like a pink tackle box.
Yes.
Okay, we are going to jump out for a quick break. That recaps a lot of the things going on, some of the events coming up. And if you missed all that, rewind. When we're done with the show, you'll catch up on everything. Tommy, going to jump out for a quick break. We come back in, we're going to get an updated report from you that involves weather, opportunity, access or not, getting to the deep water or not, forecast coming for this week, what you anticipate. In other words, we're going to kind of bundle it all up, recap Sekiu, more so Nia Bay, deep water, see what's going on out there, how's the halibut fishing been, and get a good solid report from our own Tommy Donlin. Right here when we come back, Fish on Northwest. Marine is the one-stop shop for the Pacific Northwest angler. Whether you are looking for a small skiff to fish the Sound or rivers, or a huge offshore tuna machine, Defiance Marine has it.
At Defiance Marine, be sure to power your boat with a Honda outboard package. Take advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty on your Honda outboards. Our service department is always here to help and serve you as the customer. Did you know Defiance Marine has boat financing experts to help get you the best term rates on your new boat purchase? If you need financing for that new boat, call us today. We guarantee the best price, best service on a repower for your current boat. Defiance Marine is a Honda Premier dealership and one of the largest on the West Coast. Defiance Marine also carries all the gear that you will need. Everything from auxiliary kicker motors to fishing tackle and bait. Defiance Marine has certified technicians that are top-notch at their job. Some of the best in the Pacific Northwest at evaluating your boat issues and problems. Stop in today or give us a call for all your needs at Defiance Marine.
Today, the need for quality private security services is at an all-time high. Contract Security Service provides day-to-day peace of mind as they protect people and property. Here at Phoenix, we provide service for multiple state and federal contracts with services ranging from uniform, patrol, alarm monitoring, canine detection, executive protection, as well as investigative work. Phoenix client management models are built on understanding our clients' security needs and responding with a tailored program that is best fit for them. Phoenix provides excellent customer service through well-trained, highly motivated security professionals. Recruiting highly qualified officers is the first step in building a strong team. Currently, we are comprised of 70% prior law enforcement and military veterans. If you are prior military or law enforcement, go to www.phoenixprotectivecorps.com and apply today.
Hey, welcome back, Fish Hunt Northwest. Tommy, scrolling through the old messages here. We got a lot of folks chiming in that the Chelan kokanee eat better, far better than the Roosevelt kokanee and the Rufus triploids. Really? Yeah, the krill pellet fed triploid.
Yes, really.
Yeah.
So how does that work? You take your 8-inch kokanee and you shove it on a stick and you dip it in the batter and deep fry it, or how do you cook those?
Corn dog kokanee?
Yeah.
Corn dog kokanee.
Corn dog kokanee.
That sounds kokanee on a stick. You know, that could be a whole new trailer for you. Hit the road, kokanee on a stick, huh?
Kokanee on a stick.
And lemonade. That'd be fantastic.
I'm sure they're great.
So, hey, you've made it out to Sekiu a couple times now. You got your boat moored out there. We're looking forward to a full-on season out there, even as we roll into salmon opportunity.
Yep.
But before we get there, on our days where it's permissible, we're going out after halibut. You know, on the offsetting days, we're chasing our lingcod and our bottom fish.
Yep.
We've had some weather kind of bumping us in the way here, so let's recap, kind of back up, talk us through the weather that you kind of experienced the first couple trips, and then we'll get into the actual fisheries.
Yeah. You know, so the weather that we had for the first week, right, it started with a Thursday opener, and that was kind of the same for both Westport, Area 2 and Area 3 and 4. And it was coming out of the south, right? And anytime you get that south wind, it's kind of a bittersweet wind because, you know, one, it's coming out of the south, so you are getting those tuna that are going to be coming closer to our coast, which
so a long-term goal.
Yeah,
right?
long-term goal.
Short-term, medium-term, that's long-term goal.
Yeah, and then the short-term is you got a problem because you know, the current naturally comes out of the north, and you have a south wind, and then you add a swell into the mix, and it's just a washing machine.
Right.
And that was the opener. And so for most folks, the opener got called. You know, the Westport fleet stayed tied to the dock, and then out of Sekiu, and you got to remember, La Push and Nia Bay are currently closed. Okay, Sekiu is the only port within distance of marine areas 3 and 4. Really.
Do you think that's keeping a percentage of folks away from there because they just don't want to do the extra drive?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I was really shocked when I rolled into Sekiu, and even this opening weekend, it was not full.
Yeah,
I was shocked, and I think a lot of people are, you know, going for the shorter trip. They're going to Westport. A lot of those spots are within reach. You know. But you know, and here's the other thing: there's a different migration of halibut that happens. Okay, so you know, out of Westport, those fish are really prominent early on in May.
Yeah.
Okay, now usually in past years, there's a lot of pressure in Westport. There's a lot of boats that go out there. You got all the charter boats, right, and they're loaded. So usually we see that season out of Marine Area 2 that gets shut down the fastest. How many days are they going to get? I'm not sure. Maybe 6, maybe a couple more, maybe one less. I'm not sure. But it definitely goes faster than the Marine Area 3 and 4 quota.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is really why it's one of the reasons why I base out of that north end, because I want to fish as many halibut days as I can, right?
Maximize the season, yeah.
Right. And we're going to be fishing the next 6 weekends in a row.
Yeah. Plus
some Thursdays and some Fridays. And, you know, you can only keep 4 halibut per person, but we rotate crews out, so we got different people coming. And, you know, that's the overall goal. So we got kept off the water really that first opening day.
Yep.
And then, you know, we had Saturday opener out of Marine Area 3 and 4, and then the Sunday opener out of Westport. And, you know, there was still that south wind present on Saturday, and it was still rough out, okay? Now, some of the boats made the trip out, and, you know, what they found, I would say, is very typical of early fishing in Marine Area 4 and 3. The fish were deep, super deep, you know, 600 to 800 feet of water in the Juan de Fuca Canyon. And that's very, very normal for the first week of May as those fish kind of push up as time goes on and they come up into the flats and some of the other areas. It was a good sign today. Today there was an opener, and it looked like, you know, Westport fished really good. And then out of Sekiu, it looked like there were some fish caught out of Blue Dot. Okay, now Blue Dot's a heck of a lot closer run than going to the southwest corner.
Yeah.
So it's promising to see some of those fish file into some of those closer areas. And again, you know, when you're running out of Sekiu, you've automatically added 28 nautical miles to your trip, because you've got to make up the distance to Nia Bay.
14 out, 14 back.
You got it, and then you're running offshore from there.
You know, one thing that we can also kind of look forward to, I guess, if you can look forward to something, is if those early weather windows don't allow us to get out on the grounds, it just pushes the season longer because it's quota based. And thereby you actually roll into nicer weather. You're out there in short sleeve shirts and sunshine catching halibut. You can get into a little bit bigger fish as it bumps out further. Remember last year when they finally opened fishing, they finally opened halibut. And folks that went out after them, the season just remained open because they weren't even coming close to the quota. Why? It was so far late into the season, people had to flip a coin and go, do we go for tuna or do we go for halibut?
I know, yeah.
And they never did hit the quota.
Right.
And so a lot of those bigger fish never got caught. A number of fish that were caught were bigger.
Yes.
And they were up in shallower water because it was way deep into August. Right. Now, I'm not saying based on quota we're going to get into August this year, but if we have weather windows not allowing us to get out there early on, it just prolongs the season and gives us that T-shirt opportunity, right? Which there's no downside to that.
You know, and then the other thing in Sekiu is Area 5 will open up here soon too. Right. And so people will be fishing the Strait, which is a different quota system than the ocean.
Good point.
So, but yeah, and that's really why I like to, you know, I'm not trying to. This is a marathon. It's not a race. That's how I approach this, right? So, you know, early on in the season, we get blowed off. It's rough. We stay inshore. We still have a banner day and get our limits of lingcod and bass and just have a lot of fun. That's where all the trash talking takes place, by the way. I mean, because it's just one fish after the other, and
it's a good time.
You're ribbing each other. And you know what? We've got more days coming. So, you know, that's kind of the plan, is just be patient, wait for your days, pick them, and then run offshore when you can and make it count.
When you're inside, how deep of water are we fishing on those lingcod?
Oh, those are all under 100 feet of water.
And so to briefly talk about approach on that, weight of jig, type of jig. If folks find themselves out at Sekiu committed, they're in their hotel room, this weather coming in this week, they may decide not to go out deep, they're going to fish inside. What should they do as approach and technique?
So sonar is everything, I'll tell you, especially for inshore fishing with bass and lingcod. I do not drop, okay? And there you got a perfect sonar shot of bass right underneath the boat. The entire school is there. And if you look at the left side of the screen, you can see that I have peppered the entire zone.
You've been there a few times.
With waypoints.
Right,
and that so those waypoints, and some people are like, oh, just put a waypoint and then you'll know roughly the area. I like to know exactly on a typical day when I get out of that school, when does that happen? And so you're going to see me just drop waypoints until it's blacked out, because that tells me like the optimum bottom structure to cover when we're fishing for bass and lingcod. And because you can see where the structure is not just by looking at where my waypoints are. or not. And it also helps me line up my drifts, so I can optimize the best drift for where that maximum number of waypoints is. So sonar is absolutely key, especially with bass. We do not drop unless I see them on the screen. I will sound them first. I'll figure out which way we're drifting, and then I'll go back and I'll set the boat up, and we'll drift through the school, and everybody will hook up, and it's a quick. You know, when they're biting, I mean, when they're, you know, when the bite is on, it's on. It's just you're done, right? And even, you know, even this last weekend, we're sizing them up and going, okay, that one's too small, you know, and really it's not, you know, it's a sizable bass. But you're upgrading. That one's going out. Okay, we're going for bigger ones.
When you can, I mean, if it's that good, right? So current speed and whatnot dictate the weight of your jig head?
Yeah, so we're running typically 2.5 ounce jigs when we're fishing under 100 feet of water. And then predominantly the big hammer swim bait, just because on those swim baits there's just such a huge tail on them that wags, and they've got just an awesome color scheme. So I invest in those like crazy, keep those running, and you know, and the lingcod love them too. So you can catch bass, you can catch lingcod on them, you can catch all sorts of stuff. And then if we do shift out into a little bit deeper water, say we're over the 100 mark, typically we'll go to, I made some inshore pipe jigs, you know, that are in the 4 to 6 ounce range. We've got some heavier jig heads that are 4 ounces or 6 ounces that will run with a larger swim bait. And so that's kind of the range of the jigs. And then what we'll do is we'll go on the leader, you know, and I like to use 30 pound for a lot of this inshore activity. And you go just above that swim bait about 3 feet, and I'll put a dropper loop. And on that dropper loop, I'll run either a shrimp fly or a small, like, twisty tail grub. And man, a lot of times you'll bring up 2 at a time. Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, well, you guys are heading back out there this week. Jordan and I will join you next week, which reminds me, next week, Tommy, next Thursday, we're going to be out on the halibut grounds.
That's right.
We're going to get back into Sekiu. We'll be docked up there, moored up at the dock, and we're going to bring it to you live.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
From the deck of the boat. We should be able to stream live from Tommy's boat, the 29-foot Guadalupe.
Yes.
And you know, the show will unfold as the day unfolds. We'll bring the content available based on the successes of our day. So we're looking forward to next week. We'll be coming to you live from the boat deck, tied up at the dock, recapping our day, recapping how the fishery is performing, and just talking through a number of things. Show you some rigging. Hoping to have a halibut on board to show how to fillet a halibut, because it's a little different than your standard bottom fish, right? So we got a number of things we're going to do. Just want to let everybody know we are definitely coming to you live from Sekiu next week. We'll stream it. It'll be a one-dimensional look, man. Camera on us, and that's what you're getting. None of this fancy studio stuff. So, but once in a while, that's what we got to do. We got to get out there and partake in these fisheries, and it doesn't always allow us to get back here in studio, which is fine. We'll do the best we can. So looking forward to bringing you that live from the deck of the boat next Thursday. That's going to be.
I'm looking forward, dude. It's going to be great.
Okay, with that, we are going to jump out for a quick break. Thanks for that stuff, Tommy. Good stuff. We come back. Hey, first installment's 2-part series tonight, recapping our turkey hunt. The Beard and I went after a couple weeks ago with our buddy Eric Braaten. Had a very successful day. Gave ourselves a couple days to get it done. We got it all done in one day. It was fantastic. Yes, it was an 18-hour day from start to finish by the time we got back to the hotel room, but so worth it. Absolutely fantastic day with Eric. Started on a little piece of private property and some ground blinds in the morning, because that's what we set up the night before. That's going to be the first installment here, is the first bird that we put down at 5:30 in the morning. So don't go anywhere through the break. Stick around. We're bringing you this great little hunting segment here at Fish on Northwest in the Turkey Woods with Eric Braaten. We come back after this break right here at Fish on Northwest.
Sportco, an outdoor emporium, is the largest local outfitter in the Northwest since 1975, providing thousands of people affordable outdoor gear. This summer, make your next outdoor adventure more affordable by shopping at our warehouse-style pricing. We are a local Scotty dealer, offering sales, service, and repair. Located in Fife and Seattle, come visit us today. The outdoors await you.
easier than ever to browse homes and connect with an agent on the go with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate's mobile app. With the app, your home search is synced across all of your devices, so you can pick up your home search anytime, anywhere. Take full advantage of an enriched, mobile-optimized map search experience. Use location services to quickly find homes near you that match your search criteria. Draw your own map boundaries to find homes in a specific area, and apply layers to view school districts, neighborhoods, zip codes, and more. The app's user-friendly design makes it easier than ever to find a home you'll love. Narrow down your search results, save your search criteria, and save your favorite homes. You can browse your saved homes in a list view that puts photos and key details like price and square footage right at your fingertips. Or check out your saved homes displayed on the map.
Yep, for sure. Oh yeah, big fish. Yeah, buddy. Nice fish. Oh, beauty. Gorgeous fish.
Bobby's on the board.
We got a good one.
Oh yeah. Oh, oh. No, geez, come on.
Nice fish. Nice fish.
Hey guys, good morning. Well, here we go. We are in Wilbur, Washington. Dwayne England, Fish Hunt Northwest. We are on the road. We're out after turkeys this morning. It's the start of May. I think, yeah, it's May 1st today, Jordan. How about that? Saturday, May 1st. So we are on the road. We met up with Eric Braaten last night. Went out and checked out a couple areas, put out a few decoys, sat around, waited to see if anything would happen. Got some nice toms in the area. So it's 4 a.m. It's time to get on the road, go meet up with Eric and get in the blind. Here we go.
Okay, now we gotta watch our movement. He's just over the hill. Be ready. Not yet. He's gonna come. He's gonna come over that hill. So just be watching. Slow in your movements. There He's on it. Is he? Just get your gun. Get your gun ready. When he gets to that male decoy, wait for his head to come up. Don't move. Don't move. He's right here. Another turkey coming up the hill, right behind us. Right in front of us. I think it's a hen. Another one. That's a hen. Oh yeah, that's a hen. He's gonna come in. Just be patient. Don't move. Gotcha. You put your gun to that corner. Your barrel to the corner. This up to your shoulder. Be ready. Then you just gotta pull your hammer back and wait for him to get that decoy. Nice shot, Dwayne.
Yeah, buddy.
Nice shot.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Holy smokes.
Wow.
That came together rather quickly.
That 410, man.
Holy cow.
Wow.
That dude came walking in and he slowed down once, then he kind of got on the strut, then he slowed down, all of a sudden he made a beeline for that decoy.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
he ended up getting that, going right to that Jake decoy. He
yeah.
did not like that.
No, he didn't. And he was, he'd made up his mind, and I wasn't going to wait around. You're like, get him. That 410, that thing's like a cap gun, you know?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. There's a high five white guys. That was pretty awesome. Look at that bird. Look at that guy. Huh?
Nice bird.
Heck yeah. Yeah. You know.
Got an 8-inch beard.
Yeah, it's not 10, but boy, it's
it's
respectable, huh?
Yeah. No, he's a dominant bird out here.
Yeah. Let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, you look at this guy and...
Okay, so he's been strutting for a while.
Because he's got squared off feathers there. Because they're dragging, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's got some older spurs. They've been kind of broomed off, and the rocks. We have a lot of rocks around here.
So like back here behind us up on these cliffs and whatnot,
right? He was roosting just up there on that cliff.
Yeah.
Flew down and he came across this pasture. And yesterday he was with a bunch of hens down here, so we knew he was in the area.
Right.
We just got in here early and
yeah,
set up. And
he was making noise right away this morning. I mean, a couple of them. We heard him, you know, kind of yelling back and forth. And I
did a couple soft yelps with that new Phelps game call.
Right.
The crystal.
Mm-hmm.
This bad boy.
Yep.
And just a couple little, and he loved that. Just
so subtle.
And man, he just hammered that thing, and then he came right up here.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually didn't. I thought he was going to come up right here, and he came up.
He was way over there. I mean,
and
way
then he
over.
strutted in once he saw the deeks.
That was awesome.
Having deeks, that really adds confidence to your spread.
Yeah.
And using like a Jake decoy, they really don't like those subdominant toms near their hens. So
they're going to come in and...
He was going right for it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he sure was.
A beautiful bird, man.
Yeah, he's a dandy. I can't thank you enough. I mean, that is...
Look at that.
Yeah.
Beautiful bird.
Holy cow. It all came together. So
first longbeard.
I like the fact that we're sitting there waiting for daylight, waiting for these birds to get active. We're talking about, as you're just scratching a few chirps, making a little bit of noise, but not over calling, right?
Right.
Talked about how a lot of guys just make way too much noise, go a little too aggressive. And it was so subtle on what you put out there for him to hear and to draw him in.
Yeah,
let him know that there were actually hens up here, right?
So when the birds are in the tree, you don't hear like a big circus of noise.
Right.
The hens just mainly do a soft couple clucks.
Mm.
Just really soft.
Yeah.
And then they do a couple soft tree yelps. Just like they're waking up, and that really gets the toms excited.
Yeah.
So you want to act really like what you really hear in nature. You know?
Yeah.
So.
And don't overgo.
Right, and so don't overdo it.
Yep.
A little bit is actually a lot. So.
Well, there you go. Fantastic morning. Eric Braaten, can't thank you enough.
Yeah, man.
Let's Been a great morning.
First long beard.
Yeah, you know, and I got another tag. We got another bird to get, so we'll see. We'll see how we pull that together. We got all day today. Obviously, this morning is
lots of birds.
Lots of morning still left, and we also got tomorrow. So we'll see how it all comes together. But right on. Okay, let's get this bird out here and head to the truck.
All right.
Awesome.
Go get some breakfast.
Yeah, there you go. Well, hey guys, we are closing out the day here. It's been a long day, Eric. A long day.
Yeah, we were up early.
So this bird, this Rio, we got this morning, right? Just after daylight, 5:30 this morning.
Yep.
And you know, it was just classic. We set up last night, established some ground blinds, had a game plan this morning, went in at dark, set up in the blinds, got situated. The birds were active vocally this morning in the trees on the roost, and they were making noise.
Right.
And you said, "Yep, as soon as they hit the ground, man, we should get some activity." And after it had just, you know, got daylight, not too far beyond, we had this Tom. We could hear him start working on his way up the hill. You were doing some real soft. Talk a little bit about the calling sequence or what you presented to him that drew him up towards us.
Yeah, so I was using the Phelps crystal, which is a little soft call, but in the morning you don't want to overcall. You just want a really soft, like a tree yelp, but just to let them know that, hey, there's a hen over there that I didn't put to bed last night, so right. I'm gonna go check her out. And so it's just a really soft, just something really soft, and you don't really have to get any louder than that. And he gobbled at it
right away.
I mean, and so then once he knows that you're there, you don't have to do anything else.
Right.
And unless he hangs up or something, then you can try to do it again. But we gave it, I think, 4 or 5 times, and that was it. Sealed the deal. And when he gobbled, it was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Because we knew he was close.
Yeah, because it got louder and louder. He crested the hill. He came in far left. Yeah. All puffed up, ready to go. He put a beeline on that Jake decoy you had sitting out there.
Oh yeah.
He stopped once, puffed up, then he let out a gobble, then he got on the line and he came marching in, man.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
it was pretty awesome. And so put him down this morning, and then we had a game plan. It's like, okay, ground blind was great for this morning, and but now we're gonna head north.
Head north.
And we're gonna go get some birds up in the tree line.
Play with some Merriams. From camp here, we're only about 40 minutes. You know, we were already into birds not that long after we got up there, and it was awesome.
Yep.
We had a lot of birds.
So what we're going to do is we'll take a break real quick here. We're going to jump into bird number 2, beard number 2 for the day, right? Was the Merriam, and where we got onto that bird. Prior to that, we worked a couple other birds that was exciting as could be. We
almost closed the deal on that one.
Yeah, and boy, he was crafty. He, chasing those side hens, as we refer to them, right? And we thought he was coming in. We had a great setup. We were ready to go.
He was close.
Couldn't seal the deal, so we picked up everything, headed out to another couple locations. Yeah. And we'll touch on that. So we'll jump into watching how bird number 2, beard number 2 unfolded, and then we'll come back and close it out.
Right on.
A Northwest favorite for almost 40 years, Arima boats are manufactured with pride right here in Bremerton, Washington. Arima Boats offers all of our boats with Honda outboard packages so that you can take full advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty from your Honda outboard. With literally thousands of Arima boats on the water throughout the Pacific Northwest, Arima boats are a proven hull design that offers incredible fuel economy and all of the amenities that a serious angler is looking for. All Arima boats are built without any structural wood materials. That is why we back our boats with a lifetime warranty. All of our Arima boats are designed to maximize deck space while also providing ample seating. Contact us today at Arima Boats for all your boating needs and let us help you get out on the water.
End of Watch Ride to Remember is a group from the state of Washington traveling across the country to honor fallen officers from 2019. End of Watch organizer Jagrut Shah says they want to show departments who've lost partners and friends they are not alone.
I wanted to bridge this gap that we have and bring back to the department, let the deputies or the officers know that their lost has not been forgotten.
In 2019, 146 officers were killed in the line of duty, and End of Watch Ride to Remember is on a mission to pay their respects to each of them.
For us, it's just important realizing that the men and women in blue everywhere should remember that they haven't been forgotten. We're not forgetting them. We want the families to know that their loved ones have not been forgotten.
Hey, welcome back, Fish on Northwest. Wayne England, Tommy Donlin. Apparently, folks can hear us now, Tommy.
Yeah, that's
so all
the
that
word.
stuff we were saying before that was, really funny and humorous.
Yeah,
and that great joke that you told.
Yeah,
can never be heard again.
That's okay.
It's all right. Anyway, we got through the first segment there, the turkey hunt. Fantastic time that. Tom came in on a rope, going right for that Jake. The 410, man. I'm telling you, I'm converted. Picking me up at 410. That gun will run you about $225, $250, right? If you can find it on the shelf somewhere.
As you get older, you get a little bit softer. You don't want all that recoil.
That's what it is.
It's perfect for you.
Yeah, I love my 935 Mossberg sitting here. It packs a nice punch, especially with a 3.5-inch turkey lead load.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, for kids.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's totally valid point.
Small-framed men such as yourself. And
so tiny.
Packing a gun all day around the turkey woods, the 410 is the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay, enough about the turkey woods. We got business to attend to. Speaking of business, Karl Freudenstein is on the phone with us, not a stranger to the phone line for sure. Pole-to-pole fishing out of Westport and running charter out there. Karl, you've made it out on the water here a couple times. Matter of fact, you sent me some updated photos from today. Let's talk about how things have been going. Then we'll kind of transition a little bit here as to how the outlook is for this coming week. We're dealing with weather out there at Sekiu once again, Nia Bay. We'll get into what it's going to look like at Westport, but let's back up. How's it been going so far? How's it started off for you?
Hey guys, you know what? It really has been a great start when we can get out. That deep water is fishing phenomenal.
Yeah.
We've got the fish are plentiful and very good quality of fish out there right now. So we got out last night. Of course, we got Thursday. We got blown off. Everybody canceled, and then we were able to get out Sunday. We were limited fairly early on Sunday, and a great trip. Again, quality fish. I think you some pictures, Blaine, of those.
Yep, we got them up now.
And then again today, it was a bumpy ride. The bar really let us know that it was the bar today on the way out, and but we, got out, moved out a little bit, but bucking that wind the whole way, and we got out there, dropped down, and it was game on. So good day today. Good day today.
You know, that's the thing that I was like pleasantly surprised to see, Karl, is that so far this year out of Westport, the quality of halibut has been just like phenomenal. I mean, those are good sized fish for this early in the season. So they've been fed well or something.
You're right, Tommy. This usually, we're looking at a 15, 20. No, these are quality fish. These are that 25, 30, and 40, 45 pound fish that are just not uncommon.
Yeah.
Just really nice. Nothing huge, nothing massive, but just really quality fish.
Hey, I could do that all day long. I mean, you're getting good numbers of those fish too. It's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, and you see the pictures of those lingcod. The deepwater lingcod are really stout also. So.
Yeah, I saw that. You're getting some monsters. So talk to us a little bit about the rigs. Like, let's start with lingcod. What's your go-to rig for those deepwater lingcod?
So, Tommy, years and years ago, we went up to Nia Bay, and I kind of I was new into the game, and I walked into Big Salmon at Nia Bay, and they had this copper-looking thing with a hook hanging off it, and there was this tagline on it that says, "They bite the pipe." And you know what? My saying on my boat is, "They bite the pipe."
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yes.
They bite the pipe.
So they bite the pipe. So that lingcod, that 2-pound copper pipe with the single 12-aught treble is just money.
Yeah, straight murder.
Just money. It really is.
Now, are you running the double rig, or are you running just straight single pipe jigs?
I'll do both. But I just it's been so good. I just been running straight pipe. And pleasantly surprised, we've been catching some halibut on it too.
Yeah.
So that was it. But I've learned. There comes a time when they won't, and they won't bite it. You better have some bait on board.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
So speaking of bait, when you go to your halibut rig, what are you feeding these nice sized halibut that you're catching?
Rainbow trout, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
Man after my own heart. Yes, sir.
No, they would not. Oh, we had one pick up one rainbow, go to my next rig, swallow another one, 2 rigs in the same mouth.
That's awesome. Love it.
Never seen it before. I am not kidding you. So I don't know. I told the guys, I'm not sure how you punch that.
Yeah. dry angled line through the box. Yeah. Call it a 50-50. Are you? How are we rigging those? How are we rigging those rainbows? You running off a spreader bar with a couple pound weight, and then lengthy leader, kind of snell wrapping it, half hitching it up the way. How are you rigging the rainbow trout?
Just a lot like Tommy does. Love the spreader, especially out there, especially when the wind blowing. So we're getting, I don't want to try to eliminate tangles, but 2 pounds, everything's 2 pounds, and a spreader probably 24 inches, and big river bait hook.
Mm-hmm.
Hook it through the nose. Let's put one in towards the back, and let him eat. Let him eat, and set the hook. So,
you're brining up the trout with anything fancy? Toughen them up a little bit? You put any slits in them to get the scent out, or what? You just throwing them over natural?
Whole natural. Just whole fresh. Fresher the better, obviously, because they do stay on better.
Yeah.
But no, they didn't care. These trout were 5 days old. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've seen, at least up in the northern waters, and I'm curious if you've seen it too. Have you noticed? I mean, there's always some of those trout that get held over, and some of those trout turn a little bit darker. So sometimes you'll have like a shiny trout, and then you'll have a darker trout. Have you ever noticed a difference in how those catch, or have the trout that you always use, are they just always shiny? What have you found?
Yeah, most of haven't really had any too big of a dark trout to run that. There's always the planter trout that we get. So, Tommy, I can't, I'd hate to say, it's just, the brighter ones. I'd love to try kokanee, though.
Yeah.
Dwayne?
Yeah, it works.
Me too, but they're not big enough, so
it works.
I guess I just have to try something else.
Got some real nice lingcod out of Westport last year on kokanee, and you want to talk about a shiny, reflective fish. I mean, let's face it, the kokanee are bright, and they have a different scent to them than the rainbow, but it didn't matter. I mean, the lingcod absolutely slammed the kokanee as well as the halibut were grabbing the green trout. So, it's definitely an alternative. You can load the boat with herring, you can load it with squid, you can load it with trout, you can get some of the smaller kokanee. It all works at various times, and historically, finding when you're using bait, if they're not hitting one bait, obviously you got 4 guys fishing or gals, whatever, 4 rigs down. If you vary your presentation, let them tell you what they want to take on a particular day, then you can dial it in. So, but it's always have plenty of bait on board. That's what I always say.
Yeah, amen to that.
Amen. Yeah, no doubt, Dwayne. I'm a firm believer. There are days they just won't. They bite the fight, but then there are days they don't.
Yep.
And the other thing too, and maybe Tommy, you can talk about this too, is there comes a time during the day when the bite goes off.
For sure.
Right. Whatever, it's 11, 1, whatever. They quit biting, and you always seem to have that last fish or a couple more to go, and that's a good time then to switch to bait also.
Yeah.
Yes.
To try to pick up those last few fish, and that seems to pay off always. So.
Yeah, when that current dies out there, it's miserable. Mm-hmm. It's like it's
a waiting game.
You're in purgatory. You're fishing, but the current's not moving, and they're not biting.
Oh yeah,
right. No, I've been there totally, and I hate the slow current weekends. You got to have current, and I know you guys had current for sure this today because you had about a 4.5 mile an hour ebb this morning, right when you guys were trying to leave the bar.
That sounds enjoyable.
Yeah, and I tell you what, we're lucky that there was no swell.
Yeah,
it would have been. It would have been. Yeah. It was already a boat ride just with no swell. I couldn't imagine even with a little bit of swell. But we made it just fine, and I think everybody did. And those that made it smaller boats might have waited a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. So,
nice.
Yep.
Well, hey, Karl, you got any openings coming up on your trips in the next several weeks to month or so? As long as we have quota available and we have halibut trips to run, you got some openings?
I booked out for halibut for May. We'll see what it comes with. I have not checked where on the quota. I don't know if we're going to get out Sunday, and if they do move those to June, then I do have a lot of openings in June. So
perfect.
Get on my website, give me a call, and get out there.
Fantastic. All right, he's Karl Freudenstein, Pole to Pole Fishing. Check him out. Look up his webpage or find him on Facebook. Readily available. Karl, thanks so much, as always, jumping on with us this evening and giving us some sound information. Be safe out there, and we will see you out there soon. I got a trip to run out there with Ben. I think June 5th. Yeah, yep. Thank you, Tommy. June 5th. Yeah.
Right on. Good.
Going deep water on June 5th.
Looking forward to it. See you guys. All right, man.
All right. Have a great evening. Talk to you soon. All right, bye.
Bye.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous of those. They've been getting some really nice halibut.
Yeah.
Out of Westport.
Put a smile on my face when he started just going, it's a rainbow trout, baby.
It's a rainbow trout.
For all those that think you cannot fish rainbow trout or kokanee, and it's not blasphemous to say kokanee for bait because, you get them 10, 11-inch fish. I mean, you can flay them out all day if you want and put them on your Traeger and enjoy, but I typically would like to just save those in the freezer as bait, Tommy, because it works so doggone good.
Yeah.
It's a novel alternative, and yes, it's perfectly legal to take sport-caught, freshwater-caught fish like trout and kokanee in the state of Washington and utilize them for ocean fisheries because they do not come from the same waters.
Yep.
So it's perfectly legal. Okay, going to jump out for a quick break. Thanks to Karl for that great information. Nice comparison, Tommy, between Sekiu Bay and Westport, how these fisheries are going right now. And oddly enough, both slightly compromised simply based on weather windows and lack of opportunity, right?
You know, and the other thing is that out in Nia Bay, if the weather's bad on the outside, which early May it typically is, you can fish inside, okay, inside the strait, out of the wind. But I will say that this year, you know, the tribes, they long line like the garbage dump, that area between Wada Island and Tatoosh Island off Nia Bay. They long lined it before we got our opener, and they really didn't see any fish in there. I mean, they caught very few fish. And then, of course, we went in there, and yeah, there was onesie, twosies kind of caught in there. But I mean, those fish just aren't inshore in the strait.
Just having,
right now. That's not to say they won't be there in a week or 2 weeks, but just like, right now, that inner area is not fishing.
Interesting.
So,
all right.
get offshore.
Well, solid reports going into this week. Set up your trips and watch your weather window opportunities and get out there, play it safe. Go to Sekiu, fish inside if you have to. At least you get your lings and your bottom fish. Okay, jump out for a quick break. We come back, part 2 of the FHN in the woods and the turkey woods with Eric Braaten right here, Fish Hunt Northwest. Allied boats are built by West Coast fishermen for West Coast fishermen. Deep V 21-degree dead rise at the transom guarantees a smooth ride no matter the conditions. Allied offers all of our boats with Honda outboard packages so that you can take full advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty from your Honda outboard. Allied boats range from 19 to 32 foot in length, so no matter what type of heavy gauge boat you are looking for, we have it for you. All of our Corsair 21 foot and larger designs come standard with reverse chine that is welded inside and out with no extrusions below the waterline, so that you will never have to worry about corrosion problems down the road. Get out on the water today in a boat that you can trust and enjoy with Allied Boats. Contact us at Allied Boats today to learn much more about our incredible fishing machines.
New days, new beginnings, new friends, new loves, new dreams, new goals, new scenery, new job. No matter what the next chapter holds, Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate will be there to help you find the new that's right for your lifestyle at any stage of your life. Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. Expect better.
So as I kind of mentioned before, watching how we put this bird down. Prior to that, you know, we're driving around. You're pulling into some of your spots. You know where birds typically hang.
Using the woodpecker and the and we had the Phelps bugle tube.
Yeah.
And it actually amplifies up there in the woods, and I mean, it's like the Magnum woodpecker, but we actually
the Magnum woodpecker. Phelps used to make a Magnum woodpecker call, right? It's impressive to watch that whole thing work because, like you said, you're not going to draw them to you,
right?
But you're establishing that there's a bird there, right? There's a
you
tom
just want
there.
to know that there's a bird in the neighborhood. If there's not, you move on.
Yep.
We might drive another quarter mile, get out, hit it again. Once you know there's a bird there, then you can make a game plan on how to approach him and all that.
And that's exactly what we did a couple times. Parked, okay, there's a bird down over the hill, so we get out, grab all our gear, head down over the hill, set up. Now you start utilizing box call or slate call or go through a progression.
Right.
Because now you really want to say, hey, where are you? And now I want you coming towards me. Is that right?
Yeah, we had a little wind, and so I wanted to at least get the volume out there to those birds.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they like the raspiness of a box call, and they really liked it today.
They did.
And then you know, then we hit a couple different slates. They really liked the aluminum for a while, and then you know, it's nice to have a variety in your vest so that you can sound like different hens at times. But sometimes those toms, they just kind of think that it, you know, it just doesn't sound right, and so then they move away, as those toms did. And then we were able to, you know, I cut on some of the with the Phelps, you know, mouth calls. We're cutting a couple times, and we brought them back.
Get something with a more rasp to it, right?
A little bit of cutting, and get them excited again, and boy, he came close.
What was interesting on this guy is we were driving down the road, and you slowed down, you were kind of creeping along. We hit kind of a bump in the road. The truck kind of let out a creak groan.
Yeah, it was.
And I had my window down, and I heard a tom.
It was just like a little rattle from my truck chassis.
And he gobbled, right? I was like, hey, he just gobbled.
The window down and was listening.
We stopped the truck, you got out, you torched off on the old the Phelps woodpecker mondo call with the bugle, right? And he responded, and we drove up the road to check out another area. We came back down, and I was like, well, why aren't we parking down, you know, where we got that guy? And you made me realize the importance of coming in from the location we did, worked our way down to there. The wind picked up significantly.
Right.
you got out the box call and were really cranking out some high volume.
Yeah, at that time we knew where the bird was. I just wanted to relocate him and we were ready basically because we were set up, camoed up, ready to go. Hit the box call, nothing, and I'm like, oh man,
where'd he
moved off, right? And so I kind of got a little antsy there, and then I tried I think the woodpecker, and he didn't answer that, and then I'm like, okay, this bird's moved off, and so then we kind of approached really quietly down this road, and we got to a point where there's kind of a little bend, and it just felt like I needed to make another call, so I grabbed that Phelps crystal slate and I gave it some really nice yelps, and that's when he hammered.
Oh my gosh.
And he was close.
The timing, the wind just kind of died down, because when you're on the box call, the wind was actually, it was hard to hear. I'm like, I can't hear if he's actually responding now. Did he move off? And you and I were thinking the same thing. You hit that slate, and man, he was like, oh man, it's go time.
Right.
And he was right there in our wheelhouse.
I'm like, we better sit down now.
We scurry off into the brush, you know, Jordan got camera set up, we're trying, it's like, and all of a sudden, as soon as I sat down, I looked over, I saw that hen popping her head up, and I thought, holy cow.
Right.
This is going on right now. So, and that whole thing unfolded in a matter of minutes, and like you said, you got to be ready, you know, when you go off and you're going to make that call, you're going to scrape, you're going to just try to really find out where they're at.
Right.
They could be literally on your footsteps.
In the woods up north, there's a lot of topography, there's a lot of things that you can deviate, you know, kind of be deceiving of where that bird's located. So, you know, you got to be ready. So if he cranks off and he's right there, you got to find a tree, sit down, try to get your gun up, be ready.
How great was it the way that hen comes in?
That hen was awesome.
And she basically was, feet from us.
I was scared she was going to see us.
You thought she was going to bust us,
because that's normally what happens. So
we were statues.
I didn't even look at her. I was just like hiding.
So I just stayed focused right on her and just kind of let her go out of my.
It was cool to hear her talk though. She walked right by us
and just kept plucking and just kind of going by us, and she kept going, making noise behind us. So we thought, okay, she didn't like set off the alarm bell, right? And sure enough, that Tom poked his head up. He came, same pattern. I watched him follow her right where he did. He puffed up. He let a great gobble. Right. Then he dropped his head and he came walking over past that brush. And as soon as he cleared, it was hammer time.
Right. He was in perfect range, perfect shot. It was awesome.
Let's talk about that shot. So today I had the benefit of using the 410.
Yeah.
And talk about that load we're using in that gun.
So it's a Federal, it's a TSS, which is tungsten, and it's a 3-inch shot, 3-inch 410, and it's got it's number 9 shot. It's got about 260 pellets, I believe, we're using an extra full choke, and that TSS does not deform. It holds its diameter going through any object, and it's just really tight and dense, and it really is knocking the gobblers down this year.
It absolutely.
This is number 5.
Yeah, it drove both these boys into the ground like instantly.
It's been a fun gun to use.
25 to 30 yards away. You know, that's it. I think they're rated at about 1,000 feet per second. Yeah. Velocity on that load, and you want to talk about a gun that is fantastic to get young boys and girls into turkey hunting. That thing was, I mean, we were out here yesterday, and little target time. Shot my Mossberg 935 with turkey load, which has a pretty good kick.
Yep.
And just making sure that was patterning okay. And we shot the 410, and I was like, this thing's like a cap gun. Yeah. It's unbelievable. Yeah. But man, it absolutely gets it done. One shot on each one of these birds, knocked them, you know, feathers overhead.
My turkey vest, I think, weighs more than this gun.
If you're gonna hike the hills,
all them Phelps skulls. You know,
oh yeah, you're weighted down. But I'm telling you, as far as a gun for packing around you know, trying to do the old spot and stalk on birds and set up in tree lines and draw them to you, and it's just so comfortable. I am getting me one of those guns for next season.
Yeah,
hands down. So, Eric Braaten, I can't thank you enough.
Oh, you're welcome.
You've treated us here, Fish on Northwest, with you know, great opportunity, and so you're basically the founder and creator of the Washington State Wild Turkey Hunting Club on Facebook.
Yeah.
I encourage all you folks, you know, if you're interested in turkey hunting, haven't really delved into it or want to take a look, there's a lot of great information happening on your page.
Yeah.
And folks can get on there, find out all kinds of information. You're very interactive with folks. You got some other admins helping you out.
Yeah, we got Dan Blatt Jr. and Gary Greenwald.
Yeah.
And those guys are awesome. I've known them for years. And Dan's with the Turkey Federation, and so there's a lot of cross, information exchange, and it's just really nice to be able to help new turkey hunters primarily that are just getting into the sport, because we have a lot of them. I've worked with Tom Ryle at the Department of Fish and Wildlife, working on some assistance there with what they're trying to do and keeping that interaction with the public and the interest in turkey hunting. And so it's been really a fun kind of hobby.
Yeah,
but we got like 2,000 members now, and it's a lot of work. So I had to bring some more admins on just to kind of keep.
Trust
things.
me, I get it.
Yeah, but it's been a blast.
What a great year for beginners and first timers to take on turkey hunting, because last year with the COVID and the lack of opportunity, shortened season, high survivability, you're seeing a lot of birds. I mean, we are seeing toms literally.
We saw a bunch today.
Oh my gosh, man, it's just polluted with toms. It's so impressive.
Right, and lots of hens.
You cannot help but get excited when you're driving around and spotting them, and and using your onyx and figuring out where you can go.
And there's a lot of landowners that will allow you to hunt. You just got to knock on doors and talk to people, and there's a lot of them that know that there's lots of turkeys around.
Yeah,
so,
it's a good opportunity. Can't thank you enough, buddy.
Yeah, no problem.
This has been a great day.
Awesome.
Tagged out, 2 birds down.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man. Fantastic. Got a Rio and a Marion, and that's going to do it for us. Fish Hunt Northwest on the road in the Turkey Woods here on the east side. We're going to jump out for a quick break. We'll be back in studio right after this.
There you go, Tommy. That is the recap of the one long day, 2 birds down.
That second bird escalated quickly.
Man, it unfolded in a matter of minutes to, maybe even seconds. It's, it was windy. The wind picked up significantly like we talked about.
Yeah, I can see that,
Eric was scratching out really loud calls with that box call, trying to just have sound travel. And the treetops were making so much noise, I literally couldn't hear anything. And we walked about 30 to 40 yards kind of around this corner along that tree line, and then he scratched out a slate call. And that tom responded like right now. And he was, it was the closest we had been to a bird where we were not undercover or just not moving.
Yeah.
So we had to scramble back into the tree line and then sit tight, because the hen, like I alluded to in the segment there, she literally was popping her head up coming behind that wood there in the grass right as I sat down. And much like any other animal where they're hens and toms and bucks and does and cows and bulls, the females are going to alert to the situation,
right?
And so the fact that hen literally walked past me and you could hear her, it sounds like she's spitting.
Yeah,
it's that little cluck going.
Cluck, yeah.
She was maybe within 5 or 6 feet of me.
Yeah, so that made you feel like a real hunter.
Yeah, I was in it to win it, man. I was like, the testosterone was flowing through my veins. And so she walked on by, and she was, I was hoping she wouldn't spot the beard behind me. He was drawing in the hens though with that beard. Yeah. They're like, look at the beard on that one, right?
Look at the beard on that one. It probably just blended into the tree. It probably looked like
old man's beard moss hanging out of a tree.
Moss hanging off of a tree.
Anyway, that bird came in and poked its head around the corner. Jordan didn't even have time to move the camera to look at myself and Eric sitting off in the trees. I just basically shot that bird as he poked his head out, and again that 410 knocks him down. That is just that is the way to go. And I definitely will be getting a 410 for future turkey hunts for sure, and you can use it for other types of birds as well. But what was the name of that turkey hunting group? So you can find them on Facebook, Washington State Wild Turkey let's see, what was it? Washington State Wild Turkey Hunting Club. Wild Turkey Hunting Club. So Washington State Wild Turkey Hunting Club, ran by Eric and a few others as moderators. It's an open page on Facebook there you can sign on to. tons of information. Lots of folks have signed on recently, especially this season, and they are posting up tons of pictures, lots of insightful bits of information. You know, one thing that's obvious when you get over there, there's a lot of persons hunting turkeys. And it goes on through the end of May here, so you still have ample opportunity. The birds are very active, and there are a ton of birds. With the lack of pressure, the lack of hunting last year, the number and the ratio of toms to hens is impressive. You'll come around a corner, there'll be a field full of hens, there'll be 5 or 6 toms strutting around, and a bunch of jakes running around. So it looks like it could be pretty awesome the next few years, potentially. I mean,
there's a lot of turkeys over in that area anyway. I mean, like I said, just driving through, you know, I spent a lot of time up in, you know, Fruitland, Hunters area.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm pretty convinced that I could fill a turkey tag with my truck. I really do.
A lot of people do.
I really do. There's a lot of turkeys up there.
Eric's chiming in. Yes, Washington State Wild Turkey Hunting Club. Yes, sign on his page. Again, tons of information there, insightful information, lots of information from Eric himself, just trying to assist folks in being successful in the turkey woods. It's not a give me.
No, there's a lot of good advice in there from Eric. I mean,
there is.
You know, talking about kind of that early morning routine, like what are the turkeys doing? What are the hens doing? What are the toms doing? You know, how do you scratch the slate? Yep. There's a lot of good information.
A lot of different calls you can simulate on a single slate puck, right? Yeah. It's not just striking the stick against it. You gotta actually with intent decipher of the type of chirp or noise or cluck or, you know, cadence of call that you want to perform with that. Box calls are similar, and you know, but they're easy to use. But again, it's not just scraping and making, you know, there's a sequence of calls. Eric does a nice job answering questions in that regard. I've asked that question often. I've asked it of Phelps, I've asked it of Eric. Well, is there a sequence of calls? Is there a, hey, it's me kind of a thing? And there's that little game you play. So it really, it takes a bit of time to understand that communication, much like you would in communicating with elk, much like you do when you buck grunt on blacktail or any of that type of mimicking of you know, wild animals. So there is some things to learn in regards to be successful in the turkey woods, and you know, you cannot dismiss their ability to see. They have phenomenal vision, so camouflage is everything, and the ability to not move is critical. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to the day when I can communicate with an elk and get him at 20, 30 yards.
Yeah, that might just happen this year.
Until that point, I communicate with the 180 grain AccuBones from distance.
Yeah, there's that also as well. Thank you, Eric. Says Dwayne is a great shot. Yes, well, that 410 made it easy. That
How much did you pay him to say that?
Well, that's contractual, not for public disclosure. You know, it all came together, and Jordan did a great job actually getting that on camera, man.
He did a really good job.
I really like the up close, that zoom lens we have to capture that first bird.
Yes.
It makes you feel like you're just sitting there literally watching him walk up to you. So the whole thing just came together really well for us.
$10.
$10.
That's it.
That was it. Apparently that contract didn't last too long.
No, it did not.
Anyway, if you got questions, you want information, or you're seeking information, and as pointed out here, if you have not taken on the turkey hunt, and if you can't fit it in this year, make sure, you know, continue to follow us next year and follow along in that on Eric's page, because it is something to definitely, you know, once you do it, you're just geeked out. You just got to go do it.
I wanted to be there, but I had to get the boat and Sekiu.
Yeah,
so
the COVID put us behind schedule.
Had to live vicariously through you.
Next year, we're going to go even a little more deeper on this thing. Eric, we are spending a few more days over there. We're actually going to tell the story of Turkey Camp.
Right on.
Eric's Cabin, the history, to make to actually land your name on the stat boards. There's a whole thing to this, you guys, we haven't even had time to get into, which we're just going to save for next season. It is an amazing story. It's been going on since 2003. There's a lot of history there. There's a lot of history with persons who were involved with this, with Eric, who have passed on. The history is phenomenal. And Eric's a great storyteller, not just like making stuff up, but I mean actually representing what it's all about and really being proud of what they've accomplished there. So good stuff. And yes, you will say yes to the dress. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. For those coming over to join us at the Fish Hunt Northwest Eastside Rendezvous, you will meet Eric as he switches hats and delves deep into the walleye depths and unfolds a lot of the information he is carrying in that nugget of his in the realm of walleye. So
right on.
That's when I met him. After we were done for that weekend, it kind of transitioned into talking turkeys. Next thing you know, we got the invite to go on over, and it was very successful. So great time had by all. Can't wait to do it again. Okay, moving on. We are going to jump out for a final break here. We come back, we're getting our buddy Ron Garner, president of PSA, on the phone. We're going to talk a little more about the bottom fish opportunities within Puget Sound, Tommy.
Perfect.
Some of the things that they're working towards, why the fish are coming back, and what we can look forward to in the future. So don't go anywhere. Stick through the break. We'll be back right here at Fish Hunt Northwest. Defiance boats are built without any structural wood materials. That is why we back our boats with a lifetime warranty. All of our Defiance boats come standard with large fish boxes that are fully insulated so that you can ice your fish properly all day. Defiance boats feature a 21 to 22 degree dead rise at the transom and a large reverse chine for incredible handling and stability offshore. Defiance boats are foam flotation filled and unsinkable for the ultimate in safety while fishing offshore. Defiance boats feature fuel-efficient hull designs with large fuel tank capacity so that you can have maximum fuel range for making long offshore runs completely safe and affordable. All Defiance boats come standard with self-bailing decks for improved safety while at sea. Defiance Boat offers all our boats with Honda outboard packages so that you can take full advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty from your Honda outboard. Defiance Boats for all your boating needs, and let us help you get out on the water.
Today, the need for quality private security services is at an all-time high. Contract Security Service provides day-to-day peace of mind as they protect people and property. Phoenix Protective Corporation strives for excellence. Above all, Phoenix security officers are managed by leaders trained to inspire and encourage greatness. Here at Phoenix, we provide service for multiple state and federal contracts, with service ranging from uniform, patrol, alarm monitoring, canine detection, executive protection, as well as investigative work. We here at Phoenix are looking for highly motivated individuals to apply. If you're a vet, retired or active, and would like to work with us, please apply.
Hey, welcome back, Fish Hunt Northwest. Wayne England, Tommy Donlin in studio, getting through all the turkey antics. And then Shing busts in here with all this new tuna swag, which we will show as we close out the show, right? Yep. In the meantime, we have our buddy Ron Garner, president of PSA, back on the phone with us. Kind of the part 2, Tommy, installment of some of our bottom fish discussions we've been having, and the rebound effect, as it were, and reasons behind why we see an uptick in our bottom fish populations and kind of how things are going. Ron, how are you doing this evening? Thanks for joining us once again.
Yeah, doing great, you guys. Thanks for having me back on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not quite as much fun to talk about as fishing and doing the things, but this is how we are able to keep fishing, is by doing what we do. And
that's right.
We talked about last week, or I guess a couple weeks ago now, about how in the ocean, how we were able to stave off huge fishing closures, and we did the same thing inside the Puget Sound. You know, with PSA, that's what we're all about, is everybody fishing. And I was able to get a front page on the Real News this last month and put an article in there about, you know, the things that we've done and removing HSRG. Told a pretty good layout on everything that we've done, you know, where we've saved fishing, you know, bottom fishing. All these have been attacks at us, and we took them on head on, and they're pretty big ones. Caught them with NOAA, and this being the Puget Sound rockfish, this kind of plays into that. We had a NOAA closure coming into the Puget Sound, and I don't know if you have that one picture that I sent you with the yellow and the pink available right there.
Yeah, the graph of Puget Sound.
Yeah, could you put that up there?
Yeah, we'll put that up right now. Yeah, you bet. Here we go. There you go.
Okay, so I'm not seeing it. Is it on?
It's on.
It should pop up.
It's up.
Yep.
Okay, so if you look at this, so basically, there we go. What we got is you see a lot of yellow and pink, and this is all from the Victoria Sill or east of Port Angeles. All these areas in here, pink and yellow, were possibly up to 50% of them were going to get shut down to all fishing, not just rockfish, all fishing.
Wow.
Through this, through building marine protected areas or yellow eye or, rockfish recovery zones. And this was a real possibility. This is one of those ones that if you're not at the table, you're on the table. So as soon as it came in, we jumped on it. The other guys took off. They just said, "Oh, you're crazy. You go in there, you're going to help them get us shut down." And I said, if we don't do something, then we are going to get shut down. So we have to be there. We have to help guide this program. So this was a truly big, this is a federal fishery. Federal fisheries are forever federal closures. So we had to get in there on it. Since we'd already done this in the ocean, it just seemed fitting just to bring our descender program in with here. And we actually started another chapter called Education, Fisheries, and Conservation to work on this issue. So one of the things I got to say is I've built some really great relationships along the way. Tribal, federal government, like Pacific Fisheries Management Council, senators, Congress people, just all kinds of things. And we've had to use these to help us to stop some of these closures at times. And, with 30 years of doing this, you build some big trust issues. You never burn them, but there's times that you have to pull out a card, a wild card. And this is one of those ones that we actually did use several times. We had the tribes help us on this to stop these closures. And all the way up, I had to, one time NOAA was in a pinch and they demanded I had to be at a meeting. They said, "You will be here. You'll cancel your other stuff. We'll pay your expenses. We need you here."
Right.
And I said, "Okay." When the meeting was over, I went to them and I said, "Okay, you guys remember this. Someday, probably within 2 to 3 years, rockfish, yellow eyes coming to the Puget Sound. It's going to be to shut it down." I said, "I'm coming back to talk to you guys, so you remember this." And they did. But we'll go right into where this lays is. They wanted to know if the Puget Sound, canary, bocaccio, and yellow eye were distinct from the ocean, a whole different fish. And what they came up with is we helped them go out and catch the fish. We got a bunch of the older anglers out, and we went out and found the fish, went out, caught them. They tested them, tagged them, and put them back down. Well, our rockfish descenders were working very well. It worked in the ocean, and we got them going in here. And we've kept them there, and we still get descenders to this day to give out. But we ended up, they did the testing, and they came up with yellow eye. There was a kind of mixed results of whether it was a distinct Puget Sound one. They said it more or less was. Bocaccio, they didn't catch enough. I think we caught a total of 3, maybe 2 or 3. So they couldn't come up with the results. And the canary, at the end, ended up getting delisted. So this actually helped delist the canary a little bit. It helped. Yeah. But the ocean delisted, and the canary was exactly the same fish as the ocean. But the yellow eye, the Hood Canal yellow eye, was the one that really was its own fish. And we talked about this last time, that they caught this fish, and it was pregnant, and it was a yellow eye, a pregnant female. They sent it back down, tagged it, and not in that order, but anyway.
Yeah. Doing it the hard way.
Yeah, a year later, they saw it on their ROV, and they identified it with the tag, and it had spawned, and it was still living. And that was kind of like the real game changer on it, when it really came around and started, they showed that it really worked. So that kind of helped, but we kept working along those lines with them. And what we did was, we started handing out the fish descenders at the boat show. We had the flyers, and we started, the whole program, really explaining to people that, if you want to keep fishing, this is what it's going to take. And so NOAA got to the point, they said, "Are you going to, we want you to get it made into law." And I said, "Well, okay." I got where they're coming from. So we got it made into law. And that backed them off. That got them to finally let up on it. You have to use a descender, have it rigged and ready, and that kept it going. But one of the other things that along the way, which was really neat, I got to know some of the people that pulled the derelict nets. So we got to go out on the boats and help them pull them, and got to be really good friends. One of the guys was Jeff June, and he is just a fantastic, just a wealth of knowledge. And throughout this, when we're talking, he tells me one day down in Possession on their imaging, when they're looking for derelict gear, there's thousands of rockfish down there. And he said it was really weird. This is on their imaging. They dragged this big 6-foot scope down there. And he said they were all standing on their heads. I said, what? He said, the upwelling. But I said, well, how good is your imaging? He says, it's so good we can tell a male from a female. Huh. So these are things where you get this information that nobody else has. And you say, hey, there's a lot more rockfish out there than anybody knows.
Sure.
And I had another friend that showed up. The divers stepped in and helped us, and they actually did some videos for us. Corey Rose, who's a really good friend, he made one. It was, I think it's called Puget Sound Rockfish, a diver's view. Mm-hmm. And he went all over and he showed schools of rockfish that nobody knew were down there. Mm-hmm. And we started broadcasting those out and showing that maybe the Puget Sound isn't as bad a shape as you think it is. So all these things added up to kind of backing Noah off on trying to shut us down. We escaped all fishing closures. I had to attend a NOAA rockfish meeting at Sandpoint. There was 83 scientists and me.
Perfect.
It was quite entertaining. It was really kind of fun, but it seemed like it was a given they were going to build these MPAs in here. And so I made them actually stop the meeting. I stood up and I said, they wanted to skip over it. And I said, no, we're not skipping over this. We're going to talk about them. And I said, I have a paper here that shows rockfish can't repopulate in a marine protected area if lingcod are present.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And you figure an old lingcod's 15, 20 years, maybe 25 years, an old yellow eye's 100 years. So you got 4 or 5 generations of lingcod eating off one generation of yellow eye. They can't repopulate.
Yeah.
So these were some of the things we brought up. And by the end of the meeting, I had all these scientists coming over and asking me questions. You know, it was kind of neat. But we ended up, going away on a good note, and we ended up keeping it open so we can keep lingcod fishing. I don't have any idea when rockfish would ever reopen in the Puget Sound, but we're still able to do our lingcod fishing. Mm-hmm. And they were pretty adamant. No, it was that we still don't go out deep after lingcod. They basically kind of said the same thing with halibut. Mm-hmm. Well, first you get your deep water halibut, and then you come into the lingcod. And it's like that was kind of a little upsetting. But it's like we put these descenders to use so we would be able to open up all the restrictions. And they said, no, we still don't want you guys out there messing around in deep water where you can affect any of the yellow eye.
Sure. Will they, or you guys, or do you know of groups that may be conducting more testing in the future to continue to gauge the rebound of our rockfish and certain species of rockfish that may allow us to have a fishery in the future, a few years down the road?
Yeah, something that a lot of people don't know that WDFW is, they've got an ROV and they keep a pretty good eye on everything. Mm-hmm. They go out and they do all kinds of videos. And, in all reality, you can probably go out and get on one of those with them. If you called them up and talked to them, you could probably go out there and it was pretty funny. My buddy, Dan Tunnis, they let him drive the ROV and he got it stuck down there.
That might cost a little. Yeah.
I am curious about this though, Ron. So what is the criteria for opening up, one rockfish per person retention? And the reason that I ask is because, all the guys that are out in Puget Sound fishing lingcod, they're encountering rockfish, especially when they're using, smaller swim baits, or they're using like shiner perch for live bait. I mean, they're having to fight through rockfish to find their lingcod. Mm-hmm. So what does NOAA look at to determine that the population inside the Puget Sound is healthy enough to warrant a fishery?
I think where that would have to come from, it would have to come from WDFW to build that program to show that. So, because usually it comes from the state first, and you'd have to do that. And right now, boy, Heather, I think, is the one that is one of the biggest on rockfish right now. But, you know, as rockfish keep repopulating, you know, you're going to have more encounters with them. Mm-hmm. And I get where you're coming from, because there's a lot of quillback out there. There's sea bass and there's yellowtail. Mm-hmm. They're out there. I was really shocked how many divers came out of the woodwork to help us. And they put videos, sent me videos, pictures, and they're saying, don't use my name, don't tell anybody. It's kind of funny because they're like pockets of 2 or 3 guys that go out and they're going, we know where all kinds of rockfish are and this and that. And
mm-hmm.
and they were a big help. They really were. It's amazing, you know, what people will come out and help do when they see, you know, that they understand that they're about to lose what they love to do.
Right.
I would think that the highest population of rockfish by species would be the blacks and the blues and the yellowtail. Is that the case inside the Puget Sound?
You know, they're pretty good out there. I almost think that the blacks and maybe the yellowtail, I think they might be migratory and go in and out. I mean, it just seems like there's big populations of them, then they don't see them, or they just move around. Mm-hmm. But when we went out and helped catch them, it was pretty funny. We got into schools, you know, you take guys like Gary Crine and guys that fished a lot of years, and you go, hey, you know, we're going to go out and we need to catch them. Oh, I know right where to go. Boom, you know, and years of work doing it, you know. And it was just kind of funny, you know. It's like, okay, we caught a Boccaccio up in Port Susan in the mud.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
We're fishing at Edmonds, and they go, hey, this guy goes, 25 years ago, I caught rockfish and Boccaccio up in this one spot. And I'm going,
yeah, right.
And we started heading towards Port Susan. I go, where are we going?
Yeah.
He goes, Port Susan. I go, that's all mud. There's no rockfish up there. And sure enough, we go up there, and this guy recognizes the hillside, and he keeps looking at different things. He puts us in this crevice, and we end up catching a Boccaccio. And I told him I'd bet him $1,000 we never caught a Boccaccio. I'm glad they didn't pick me up on it.
Go figure, huh?
And it was the best looking Boccaccio I've ever seen, because everything you bring up in the ocean, their eyeballs are blown up. They look terrible.
Yeah.
This one wasn't like that. He hooked up, and he started cranking fast electric reel, and I reached over and turned it way down. And I said, you don't want to do that on a rockfish.
Yeah, bring it slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, brought it up, and I got all kinds of pictures of it. We caught canaries in there. It's just a deep crevice. I don't know if you can ever find it again, but it was just a shot in the dark, and we found it. But it's kind of funny because there isn't structure in the Puget Sound. I seriously think we need to get back on to looking at building structure. And one of the things they say is that there's structure without fish on it right now. So what good does putting more structure in? And then one of the other things toward the end that they came up with was, how do you know you're not taking fish from other areas? Now, one of the things that I brought up to legislators and DNR is, you guys are pulling creosote pilings. You know, they're covered with mussels. They're probably not as toxic as they used to be. Mm-hmm. You're pulling up the tire reef. You're pulling up you're pulling all the old boats up. Where is the houses? Where are the homes for the rockfish? You took them all.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
You didn't put anything back. Nothing got put back.
Right.
Yeah.
Need to reintroduce some man-made structure and start building some habitat.
Why not point them to the Edmonds Underwater Park? I mean, there's all sorts of garbage down there. You got toilets, you got boats, you got cinder blocks.
Fish love that stuff.
Pipes.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's fish on every piece of structure down there.
Yep. Once it gets covered by natural, you know.
Yeah, it's game over. It's a natural house.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Ron, keep on doing what you're doing. You know, Tommy and I are going to try to get our hands on some descenders to start giving out here on the show, because it's a worthwhile cause. You're mandatory to have them on your boats now, which is exactly what needed to be implemented, and so glad you helped accomplish that. You know, we'll try to do our part to make sure we continue to rebound our bottom fisheries here in Puget Sound, because a healthy Puget Sound means healthy fisheries for all species of fish, and not just protecting and, you know, ensuring that our salmon and steelhead are rebounding, but all species of fish as well. So can't thank you enough for all that you're doing.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, guys. And like always, it's about our kids and grandkids. We got to live with something better than we have, and right now it's not looking good. So we better get to work.
Yep, absolutely. Amen. All right, Ron Garner, President PSA. Look him up on Facebook. Follow up on what PSA has going on. Look for a chapter near you to join up and be part of PSA throughout all of the West Side over here. So thanks again, Ron. Don't be a stranger. We'll maintain or keep in touch with you down the road.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
You bet.
Have a great night, Ron.
Lots of good stuff going on, Tommy. Things that you don't often hear about, and I think it's important for people to understand that there is work and there is effort. We hear about habitat restoration, and a lot of that has to do with terminal fisheries and up into habitat and spawning areas, and reclaiming estuary waters in some of these other areas, restoring salmon habitat, and to try and undo some of the hardening of the shoreline, as it were, all along Puget Sound, and how detrimental that has been. Removal of the kelp beds, how detrimental that has been. Yep. So there's even more going on, and again, rebuilding and ensuring that our ecosystem is well-rounded and balanced. Yeah, good choice. It's important to pay attention to what's happening to the rockfish. It's important, like we'll have David Trout in here again soon, I hope, and we talk about things like the amount of anchovy that has moved into the South Sound at certain times of the year when they're spawning, and what that looks like, and then what that does as part of a healthy ecosystem. It all relates, right?
It does. Yeah.
And I think he's spot on, and you mentioned it as well. If you're going to remove all that habitat that has now been established as habitat, whether it was man-made or by default or whatever, it gets covered by so much of what Puget Sound has to offer in life, that when you remove all that, you take that, you just do away with that.
Yep.
Now those fish are having to look for other means for protection and housing, and it's like somebody came in and leveled the projects. Now where are we going to go, right?
Yeah.
So it has been proven, not just here, the Great Lakes, number of fisheries down in the Gulf South.
Florida's probably
good point.
The gold bar, the gold standard for ground fish recovery.
Man-made structures.
Absolutely.
Right?
And as a citizen, I can go and I can say, hey, here's, I don't know what they cost. Here's $2,000. I want you to put, and they call them chicken coops. They take steel I-beams and they build kind of this pyramid. They put floats on them. They kind of attach some stuff to the structure, and then they pay a barge to drop it at a given location. Yeah. And you're the only one that has the GPS coordinate. And they'll do that for you wherever you want. And so there's these, Florida already has a pretty comprehensive set of recs.
Yeah.
But now on top of that, you can have your own structure. I can have my own structure. And then, boom, there's going to be amberjack there, right? There's going to be yellowtail snapper there. There's going to be, you name it, whatever ground fish is looking for a home.
Yeah.
Find it, right? Here, as soon as you propose something like that, you've got 10 people that want to sue you because they're worried about, what's this piece of steel going to do? What's the concrete going to do to the water salinity? And like Ron said, he went to that meeting. There's 80 scientists, and then there's
him,
right?
The man of reason.
This state. It's a huge struggle. Yep.
Yeah, I get it. All right, lots of content covered for sure. Appreciate everybody tuning in this evening. Hope you enjoyed it. Tommy, to your right, we have a few items.
Yes, we do.
Sitting there. We're unveiling our new tuna series. That is the back of the graphic on the back of a T-shirt. Yeah. The front side is a tuna leaching blood. I mean, this whole thing is all about bloody tuna.
It is.
And
it is.
I love
these are just awesome.
Yep. Fish on Northwest on the back. We got a flag on the sleeve.
That's right.
And
everybody wonders why do I wear white Grunnins?
Yeah.
And that's just because
blood
shows up so much better on white.
Huh?
Look at that.
Look at that thing pop.
Phenomenal.
Yep.
I just love these.
Yep.
This is awesome.
Those turned out great.
Yeah,
and Shing did a great job. We got all different types of shirts that those are shown in.
Yeah.
We have women's wear as well. I think that's one of the ladies right there.
Yeah.
It's on the front.
This is
center
chest
right here. Yeah, that'll fit Josh.
Yeah.
And then the flag on the sleeve, no graphic on the back. That's the ladies' wear.
That's right.
So those are coming to the website very soon. We got inventory coming in. www.fishhunt FHNNW.com.
Oh, look at this for the little guy.
Look at you go.
There we go. That's awesome.
That is fantastic. We will get those up on the website. Folks can start ordering their tuna gear for sure. Pretty happy to get those out in production. The boys are doing a fantastic job getting all our wares printed because that's what they do. They work at the shop and they knock it out of the park. Okay, my friend, next week we will be together out there on the deck of the boat.
Yes.
Bringing the show live from the docks in Sekiu, recapping our day on the halibut grounds. I have a strong feeling it's going to be favorable in our favor.
I hope so.
Put some halibut on the deck and some lings and some sea bass, and we'll bring it all to you live from the boat deck next week out of Sekiu. For this week, Dwayne England, Tommy Donlin, Josh behind the deal, and the beard walked on out of here. Thanks for joining us tonight, folks. Be relevant with us on Facebook throughout the week. Post your questions, comments, concerns to both Facebook and our YouTube channel. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, support our sponsors. Want to thank Defiance Marine, Better Homes and Gardens, Pacific Commons, and of course Phoenix Protective Corp. All fantastic companies that we work with, and happy to have them on board, along with our other sponsors, Ray Marine, and Phelps is handing us a handful of items that we're pretty thankful for as well. So lots going on here. We'll try to keep it coming to you each and every week as we do, and have a great week. Enjoy this weather. We are in for some fantastic weather, other than the ocean conditions, Tommy. Inland is going to be sunny. Fan off. Yep, inland is going to be sunny. We got some beautiful weather coming through the weekend, so get out and go get something done. Post your pictures with us, and we'd love to share that content with you. Have a great week. We'll see you next week live from Sekiu right here at Fish Hunt Northwest.